Times mothers got physical on paternity court.
Thank you, God.
Got you.
Yes! Don't do that. Don't do that. Why did she just came out? Because you know you slept with somebody else.
Miss Hooker.
No. Hey, go in there. Go in there.
This grandma refuses to take in the baby of a girl who showed up out of nowhere after her son got locked up.
Ms. Jackson, you are petitioning the court to determine the paternity of your alleged granddaughter. You claim your son, who is currently incarcerated, would be a fool to think he fathered Miss Pickens' one-year-old daughter. Now, you say she's a liar and had sex with multiple men at the time of conception.
This is why Miss Jackson is denying the baby.
She came to my home with her mother and another family member. Let me remind you, this child, I never even heard of this young lady.
That's when you don't have a relationship with your son.
Yes, I do.
But
I have a relationship. He lives in my household.
Okay, let's get to order, ladies.
Yes.
Miss Pickens, I'm gonna come to you, but I want to understand. Miss Jackson, you say you never heard of Miss Pickens?
Never heard of her. He
you
never
never
mentioned
heard
her.
about a baby, and
Never
one
heard.
day
He didn't live
she
with
shows
you.
up at
Yes,
the
he
house.
did.
While the baby mama defended herself like this.
I did believe that it was one of the guys dating.
Guys, were you sleeping with?
Two.
She don't know. She don't know.
When you met her son,
Yes.
you had a boyfriend.
Yes.
So somehow you get
Yes.
into a relationship with Miss Jackson's son.
Yes. Like, we wasn't in a relationship. We were just
Exactly.
messing around. Me and her son was messing around
And
every
you had
day. Every day.
Listen,
Unprotected sex.
were you also having unprotected sex with someone else at that same time?
No, not at that same time.
Well, then how
but
could you
then
call
we
somebody
broke
else the
up.
father?
This ignorant sort of truth got on the judge's nerves.
I'm the judge, and I ask the questions, you answer them. Understandably, this
Okay.
situation, nobody wants to find themselves in this situation.
Exactly.
However, if we're gonna resolve it, we gotta be able to talk about it. Now, Miss Pickens, were you, at the time your child was conceived, having sex with any other man? Okay, so
Yes,
Miss
well, me-
Jackson's son and
The boy who I was going with after him.
However, it turns out that Mr. Jackson himself was pushing to be the father.
not that guy, it's Miss Jackson's son. When did you change your mind and why?
When he pursued me, calling me and like, oh, well, that's my baby, this, that. So I
So
was
when
like,
you say he pursued you, you
Yes.
meant when you had this baby,
Yes.
Miss Jackson's son called
Yes.
you and said,
Yes.
that's my baby.
yeah, and she looked just like him.
And you felt like there's a
Yes.
resemblance. She looks like him, and
Yes.
he's saying, this is my baby.
Yes.
Later, it was revealed that even Miss Jackson had acknowledged paternity in the past.
Miss Jackson actually expressed interest
Yes.
and established a relationship
Never.
Yes.
with
never.
the baby.
Yes.
I never
Hey,
had
one
her.
second, ma'am.
I never
Fake.
established a
Fake.
relationship with this child. We
Fake.
got text
You're trying not
messages
to take
that will even sit up here and say I never
lying.
established.
Listen, we can either get this resolved or y'all can
can't.
go on back home and act a
can't.
fool in the street, because you're not
can't.
gonna act it up in here.
Things had gotten so heated that Jerome had to stand between both mothers.
Miss Jackson, you're saying didn't establish a relationship because you never truly believed this was your son's child, but the child has been to your house on several occasions.
3 occasions.
If your son says, Mama, I'm going to pick up my little girl,
He
The
never
doubt
came over
was
there
for the simple
to
fact
pick
of
her
my
up.
son.
you don't feel like the baby looks like your son.
Exactly.
Okay,
No
and
grandmother
next-
connection.
You don't
She-
have a grandmother connection.
No.
What, meaning when you look at the baby, you
I
don't
do
have
not-
that feeling that
Exactly.
this is
my grandchild. I have 2 grandchildren.
Next, Miss Jackson narrated her reasons for doubt very vividly.
That she was sleeping with unprotected. Then she claimed to be that another man was the father. So these are the reasons that I have my doubt. She has lied about faking a pregnancy, pregnant with twins. When she found out Aaliyah was pregnant, she acted like she was in a hospital, and she gave me a bogus number stating that it was the hospital number and it went to a cell phone. What hospital have a voice?
You're saying she lied about a second pregnancy?
Yes, when she found out Aaliyah was pregnant. She is very jealous.
Wait, who fakes a pregnancy? What's wrong with people these days?
Yes,
Lie
I did.
about a
Yes,
second
I did.
pregnancy?
Yes, I was
Why?
kind of her. Yes, I did lie. And the only reason how you know I lied is I told your son.
So you did it to get back at him?
Yes.
Then she said she had an
But
abortion.
you now have to understand why your
Yes.
credibility is about shot.
Yeah.
Why another woman, another person, or a
Yeah.
judge
Gonna
might
feel
not
the type of
believe
way.
what you're saying
Yes.
when you make up an entire pregnancy story that
Yeah, I
you then
know.
have to admit was a lie.
Yes.
After listening to that, the grandmama made this speech.
Is my grandchild. I will apologize to her. I said this to her on Facebook, and I will take in that child. But I don't believe in my heart, Your Honor, and I'm not wrong for not feeling like this child is mine. I'm not wrong for that. I'm not. I said, if this is my grandchild, let me dumb it down for her. I will take care of her.
But unlike that monologue, the trial had no civil ending.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. When it comes to 1-year-old baby Shaziah Pickens, Mrs. Jackson, you are not her grandmother.
Got you. Yes, thank you, God. Don't do that. Don't do that. Mommy, she just came to
I need order.
Poravecchio's step-siblings are in court today to end their paternity dispute.
Mr. Poravecchio, you claim that the defendants, Ms. Touche and her daughter, Ms. Lutz, fraudulently received $150,000 in settlement money from the death of your father, Ricky Poravecchio Sr., because Ms. Lutz is not your biological sister and her mother covered up that fact.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Poravecchio told the court why he believed that his family was duped by the women at the podium.
On a tugboat, working, and he drowned. Accidental death is what it's said on his death certificate.
That's what it was declared.
That's what it was.
It's declared as accidental death, drowned.
So let me understand. Your father at the time was married to
My mom.
Ms.
Laura
Touche.
He told the court how his supposed sister had a different father's name on her birth certificate.
Mrs. Lutz had a maiden name. Her mother's Touche as a maiden name. I have evidence right here on the birth certificate.
Jerome, let me see the evidence. You submitted this birth certificate because you said originally she was named, your father passed away. You felt like she in some way affected the settlement distribution?
I had to change my name because I was born a Theo because she was out of wedlock. My dad and her were poor. They didn't have the money to be married. They were poor.
disagree.
After he died, they were already going to get my name changed.
Miss Lutz, on the other hand, was taken aback by the whole accusation.
My mom and my dad were separated, right, when he died.
And just living apart, there was no
Right.
legality
They
to
were
it
not
at all.
divorced, and my dad never said I was not his
denied
daughter.
Mr. Poravecchio, you brought a couple of witnesses. I want to get to the first witness.
Next, we got to see the witness who roughed the whole family's strife.
Mr. Poravecchio Sr.'s sister.
Correct.
And so you are Mr. Poravecchio standing here, his aunt.
Yes,
She
Your
never
Honor.
denied me either. This is the first time hearing about this a few weeks ago because I have never heard that I was not a Poravecchio. In a restaurant celebrating my brother's birthday after being in contact for a year, she walks right past us at the restaurant on my brother's birthday like she didn't know us with her parents. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Lady Lutz further told the court what nasty trick her father's family was playing.
All kind of lies. You know my mother more than anything in this world. She kept us together, Ricky.
Well, you know it's a
And
it's a family feud, okay?
It's a family feud. It was
It's
not between me
it's
and you,
things-
Ricky.
That was
I know.
created-
There's
Dave
things
always had a
that
family
were
feud.
said in the family on my side, my
Okay.
father's side, and also on your side.
Why couldn't you
What did
come to
we
me
say?
quicker?
I never said anything bad to you
Never.
about the Poravecchios because you were a child and there was no place in that for children.
Both plaintiffs were clueless about why they were getting too much.
I have no clue. I loved Ricky with all my heart, and the fact that he would even question me and him being brother and sister kills me because I look just like my daddy. If anybody looks like my daddy, I have a lot of anger for the Poravecchios, my daddy's side of the family, because when my daddy passed away, they passed away. They basically were out of my life for good by their own choice.
So let me understand. Up until a certain part of your life, you were included in the family.
Up until my daddy died.
Accepted
Yes,
as
ma'am.
a Poravecchio.
Yes, ma'am.
However, the auntie expressed her doubts to the court like this.
Them separating my brother and Laura is that my brother walked in on her having an affair.
Oh my God.
You
How
were
would you
sick.
know something like that? Your Honor, I'd like
It
to
was
explain
told-
that lie,
It was told
okay?
by my brother. I was
That's-
21 years old.
Dawn, you just need to stop lying and be done with it.
But the mama remembered the episode like this.
When Ricky and I first met, I was somewhere around 16 years old. We just clicked immediately. He's a handsome, good-looking Italian man. I just couldn't help myself. After a couple of days, we started seeing each other for a while. It was just him and I. Just things were great. I got pregnant. I was almost 18 years old. I got pregnant. We got past that. My daughter was born. The next year, we got married. Then the next year, my son was born.
After that, we got to know that even late Mr. Poravecchio had doubts.
There was a point that you were told that your father walked in on Miss Touche and another man.
Right.
Your Honor, that's a lie. Husband and I separated initially. I got a job. I was driving a really old. When I got home is when I found out my husband was so upset. I had been gone for so long.
Funeral?
Did you,
Right,
a
she
friend
did
of the
date him.
were
family.
you
So
ever
what?
in a relationship
Unlike
with
you.
this
Not
man?
my.
After my husband passed away, yes, ma'am.
And the results brought this scene to the court.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Porvecchio and Ms. Lutt are siblings.
Thank you.
told
Keep up
you.
the lies, Ricky.
You're done, Ricky.
Thank you very much, Dawn.
You the one that wanted this.
No, don't stay on your side.
Hold on,
No,
he came
no,
to
ma'am.
give a hug.
No, ma'am.
Miss Hawkins is done with her deceased boyfriend's mother denying her baby, and she's here to prove her wrong.
Ms. Hawkins, you state Ms. Banks has no idea how much Daryl loved you. You say Ms. Banks is denying her son's legacy, Jasani, and you claim today's DNA results will prove Daryl is the father. Is that correct?
But Miss Banks disclosed this to the court.
Ms. Banks, why do you believe Jasani is not your grandchild?
I don't believe that Jayshani is my grandson. Jada and my son had a very rocky relationship. I never knew of Jada really until right before my son's death. Jada met my son on Facebook, and she came and moved in with him the same day that she met him.
The judge asked the defendant how she found out about the pregnancy.
So, Ms. Banks, how did your son tell you that Ms. Hawkins was pregnant?
He called me on the phone and he was like, Mom, Jada's pregnant. And I was like, who is Jada? And he was like, she's my new girlfriend. And I was like, oh, here we go again. My son had a lot of girlfriends. And to me, Jada was just another girl that came along, and now she's saying she's pregnant.
Up next came the doubt part, and Grandmama had her own valid reason to believe.
So how is it that he expressed that he was doubtful?
When she called and said that she was pregnant, she was living with another man.
Correct.
Oh.
I was not living with another man. I was staying with my cousin. I was in a relationship with another man. And when I found that I was pregnant, the other man said, if you decide to keep the baby, let's end the relationship. That's how I ended back up with Daryl. Thank you.
However, the baby mama denied all these claims.
And you were the last person to see him.
Yes. Correction. I was not the last person to see him.
The
people
murderers
that
were.
did that was the last people to see him.
You're right.
You're really the reason your son is dead.
I'm not the reason he's dead.
Listen, ladies.
You're the reason.
If he
And you know that.
ladies,
You
ladies.
know. Come on.
Girl,
Do
let me
it.
tell you
Do it.
something. If he
Miss
wasn't with
Ladies.
some trashy self,
Let's get some order. Let's get some order, ladies.
After this baby, the name thing popped up, and the judge had to ask Jerome to halt the women, because they were very close to ripping each other apart.
Why would you name him Jayshani when you know that my son is dead? The whole time you were pregnant.
I'm taking care of Daryl,
Ladies, Miss Hawks,
Very emotional.
calm down. Just take a deep breath. Everybody is in so much pain. You all are just so wound up. Just look at me and take a breath.
Miss Banks told the court how she had initiated to take Jada and the baby in, but her reluctance made doubts grow stronger.
Well, Jada, come on. Move to Houston with us. I can help you better if you live close to me. I bought Jada a one-way ticket. I get to the airport. This is all that I have left of my son that was tragically murdered. This one's nowhere around. I'm looking for a girl that I've never met, and then when I called her on the phone, she didn't even answer the phone.
And we kinda don't blame Jada for not moving in with strangers.
And she's acting nervous and scared. I have 7 kids.
I mean, you've had 7 children. You do know how vulnerable you feel when you're pregnant. Do you understand how she maybe got nervous and just did not want to be in a new environment?
She should have just said that.
Well, yeah, but at
All that mouth she got.
That's a lot of pressure.
She got
I
a
had a
bunch
lot of
mouth.
pressure on
She
me at
wasn't
that
scared.
time.
So, there was only one way to end the confusion. But sadly, it didn't go down as we anticipated.
when it comes to 21-month-old Jasani Daniel, it has been determined by this court. The percentage of relatedness is 99.99%. You are related.
I just needed to know. God, please come.
Just stand still. You can make it. You can make it. I know you've been through a lot.
Please.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, and I forgive you, but I need a minute.
Listen,
I need a minute.
Angry Mama is in the courtroom with this dilemma at her hand.
Mr. Freeman hasn't done nothing. He has been a deadbeat. He refused to step up to the plate ever since he got with this Miss Triplet.
Hold on, first of all, ladies, that erupted from 0 to 100 in less than 1 second. Wow. Let's bring it down a notch.
Yup, the trial started with this energy, so you can only imagine where it will go.
Your son will love it. He loves to laugh and play. It's not an issue of paternity. It's an issue of him being responsible.
Miss Triplet, give me a minute. minute. I know why you're upset,
Sure.
and I'm letting you kind of scream it out because I can see how frustrated you are.
I am. I really am. Bring
listen.
it on down.
Whoa, why did you leave that part out, Miss Rayford?
Are you referring to when you brought that dresser thing?
Nah, he referring to the stuff that he bought with Pampers, clothes, and stuff like that. Girl, stop playing.
So you know every
Nah,
move that
I
man
think
make,
so.
huh?
Nope, I
Hold
thought
on.
he made a wrong move when he went over there
Hold on.
Oh, you jealous. You wish that was your
Jealous?
son, huh?
How can I be
you wish
jealous?
that was your son, huh? You
Miss
with you.
Rayford.
How can I be jealous?
The alleged father further explained his doubt like this.
Trina was still having sex with multiple guys. She's obsessed with me.
He believes you were still having sex with other people. Is that true?
No, it's not true. We met in December. We met on a dating site.
A dating site.
And Miss Triplett, I'm gonna ask you while she's testifying, just keep your little church
Yes, ma'am, Your
choir
Honor.
talking. Just stop.
Yes, ma'am.
While Miss Rayford glossed that part in this way.
It was New Year's. I wasn't expecting a baby and all these shenanigans out of the situation. I picked him up and we hung out, brought in New Year's. We had a good time. I came from California to Memphis. When I came to Memphis, I met two men. And I probably should have went with the first, but he was the second one. The first, and the relationship kind of overlapped.
Okay.
However, Miss Triplett had this take on the whole situation.
Were you with Mr. Freeman during
Yeah.
the time that in February?
Yes, ma'am,
You
I
all
was.
had started dating.
Yes.
And having sex.
Yes.
Miss Rayford, when you went to California, you were already pregnant.
I never saw proof that she was pregnant.
She never told you she was pregnant.
Never told me.
Miss Rayford even had a whole calendar lined up, which the guy at the podium had no idea about.
I'm gonna use that date, my birthday, that we had sex, although it was a busy month.
Wait a minute, a busy month? How busy was it?
Oh, it was too busy. By the end of it, I was pregnant. I was finding out I was pregnant. We was
said
caught
busy,
up.
so
It was
she was
good.
the other
I ain't
guy.
gonna lie. 2 minutes at a time is good. That's why I'm here. You know, I messed up. God forgive me.
And when the judge asked about Mr. Freeman like this, he twitched like this.
Were you also still with Miss Triplett at this time?
Yes.
Wow.
All right. So now you are admitting you were basically having sex with Miss Triplett and with Miss Rayford at the same time.
It was only just a fling.
Well, look,
You say
flings,
that now.
Listen, flings produce babies. If you don't know that, now you know.
Next came the phone call part.
Based upon a phone call.
Yes.
Which
she
phone
called-
call is this?
She called me talking about it's a possibility the baby might not be yours. You had sex with another guy and all this.
Were you alone when you got this call?
No, I was laying right beside.
What happened, Miss Triplett?
Yes, Your Honor, I was laying right beside my territory. That's my territory. You cannot
Yes,
have
it is. Yes.
Well, all this led to this conclusion in the mid-trial.
I don't want to be period
Thank
with
you. You don't want to be the father.
Okay, so wait.
You don't want to be. Just be honest. Just say what it really is.
Calm down. I will
Yes,
say
forgive
that a
me.
part of, there was authenticity in a part of what I just saw from Mr. Freeman's testimony. And you looked over at her and you were just like, you don't want to be bothered with her.
Not at all.
And when the truth-bearing DNA got out, we got to see this show by Miss Triplett.
Mr. Freeman, you are the father.
Holla, women, you might hurt someone.
Nah,
Something wrong with that girl.
Yeah, something wrong with me.
That's why you
listen.
have, because something wrong with her, and
It's
I'm
on
not
now.
subjecting my child to that.
Listen, you're his father, just like Miss Rayford said you were.
And you just lie. You do this to me for what? For what?
This baby mama is in court to get down with the paternity confusion for good.
The defendant's son, Mr. Abraham, fathered your 10-month-old daughter, Kanaya. You say that Ms. Baker and her family's public denial of this child has caused you pain, and you are here for an apology and to prove her son is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
The paternal grandmother also supported her daughter's claims.
It's not that she don't care. Her feelings been hurt, so she hold a guard up. It's not Miss Baker who denies Kenaya. It's her family who makes my daughter feel some type of way. It's not Miss Baker. She was too fat to be his baby. She fat like them, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. Never from Miss Baker, always her family who always have something to say about my grandbaby.
However, the other grandma had this take on the relationship between the plaintiff and her son.
But then when we finally found out for sure, he told me, he said he wasn't the only boy that had messed with Denaya.
Okay.
And he made me promise that we was gonna get a blood test. Things didn't go the way we thought they were gonna go, and now we're here.
While the baby's aunt believed that Miss Hooker was assuming the animosity on her own.
I know my mom said something about, she had a birthday dinner, and my mom did tell me, she said something about she thinks think I didn't like her, things like that. Maybe her perception of what other people view of her is just her perception, because she has to understand that sometimes it's hard for people to look, for me personally, to look at baby, because it's just a reminder that my brother's not here.
But the mama was not ready to back down that easily.
Keyshawn accepted that he was the father of this child.
Yeah, in my mind.
From the way he behaved at your home.
I ain't never said yay or nay. All I say is what my baby said to me.
Right.
I've talked to her, and she know why we here.
Exactly, and listen.
Yeah, I'm the one who
And
wrote
that's
the letter.
all I'm concerned with, all this other bickering, and I don't got time for it.
And she even threatened the deceased family like this.
Nobody, keep your sorries. I don't want no sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Okay, I'm not asking you to.
Shut
up.
Hold on,
I don't care.
hold on,
She thinks she can say something to me because I'm a child. I'm gonna keep talking to her because she thinks she's hard, and I will punch her in her face. I don't care.
Oh, no,
I don't
no,
care.
no.
I've been waiting for her already. I don't care.
Miss Hooker, you're gonna have your day, and it's today. I'm not gonna let you in this courtroom.
Now, it was time for results.
The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Baker, Mr. Abraham, and Kenaya Abraham is 0%.
And this, because you know you slept with somebody else.
Miss
And
Hooker.
Stand up.
No.
Hey, go in there. Go in there.